Imagine a life without restrictions, without rules, without boundaries. Sounds liberating, doesn't it? But would it really be? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Freedom is often misconstrued as an absence of boundaries, but in reality, the absence of boundaries is more like an uncontrolled chaos. Picture this, a world without traffic signals, without lanes, without speed limits. At first glance, it might seem like an adrenaline-fueled joyride, but soon enough the thrill would give way to chaos, confusion, and ultimately, catastrophe. Similarly, a life without boundaries might seem appealing in theory, but it's far from ideal in practice. In the context of relationships, personal or professional boundaries are the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and what is not. They are the safeguards that protect our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. They help maintain a healthy balance between our needs and the needs of others. They ensure that we are treated with the respect and dignity that we deserve. Boundaries, in essence, are a testament to our self-worth. They signal to others that we value ourselves, that we have standards, and that we expect to be treated accordingly. Without these boundaries, we run the risk of being taken advantage of being disrespected, and of losing our sense of self. Now, boundaries are not just about saying no. They're about saying yes to what truly matters to us. They're about making conscious choices about our time, our energy, our relationships. They're about prioritizing our needs, our values, our well-being. Setting boundaries, therefore, is not just a tool for self-preservation. It is a tool for self-improvement. It is a means of asserting our self-worth, of cultivating self-respect, and of fostering healthy, balanced relationships. So it's clear that boundaries are crucial, but how do we go about setting them? Setting boundaries may seem like a daunting task, but it's easier than you think. The journey to healthy relationships and self-improvement begins with understanding and implementing boundaries. So let's break this process down into manageable steps, shall we? First off, we have self-awareness. This is the cornerstone of setting boundaries. You need to understand yourself, your needs, your emotions, and your limits. What makes you uncomfortable? What drains your energy? These are important questions to ask yourself. This process isn't about judging or blaming. It's about understanding and accepting your own needs and limits. Next on the list is clear communication. Once you are aware of your boundaries, it's time to express them clearly. Whether it's a personal or professional relationship, being open about your boundaries is crucial. Say in a work scenario, if you can't handle more tasks, it's okay to say, "I have too much on my plate right now." Remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Be firm but respectful, assertive, not aggressive. Which brings us to the next point, assertiveness. This is all about standing up for yourself while respecting others. It's the sweet spot between being passive and aggressive. Assertiveness helps you express your needs clearly and confidently, without hurting others. It's not about getting your way all the time, but about being heard and respected. Now let's talk about setting boundaries in different situations. In personal relationships, it could be about spending time alone or not discussing certain topics. In professional scenarios, it could be about not answering emails after work hours or setting clear task limits. Remember, each situation is unique, and so are your boundaries. In summary, setting boundaries is a three-step process: self-awareness, clear communication, and assertiveness. It's about understanding your needs, expressing them respectfully, and standing up for yourself. It's a continuous process of learning and adapting, so don't be hard on yourself if you falter. So you've set your boundaries, but what happens next? Keep watching to find out. Ever heard the phrase, forgive and forget? Well, it's not always the best advice. We've all been told that forgiveness is a virtue, a noble act of compassion. And while this is true, it's also important to understand that forgiveness isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's not a band-aid to slap on a wound without cleaning it first. The dangers of forgiving too quickly lurk in the shadows of unresolved issues. When we forgive without proper resolution, we risk opening ourselves up to repeated offenses. It's like inviting a burglar back into your home after they've apologized for breaking in. You wouldn't do that, would you? So why would you let someone who's hurt you back into your life without ensuring that they understand the impact of their actions? Forgiving too quickly also runs the risk of loss of self-respect. When we don't allow ourselves the time to process and heal from the harm done to us, we're essentially saying that our feelings, our well-being, don't matter. This can lead to a cycle of self-deprecation, where we devalue our own worth and undermine our self-esteem. Now let's explore the concept of forgiveness and its role in setting boundaries. Forgiveness is not about letting the other person off the hook. It's about releasing the power they hold over your emotions. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment and bitterness. But forgiveness does not mean forgetting or ignoring the harm that was done. It doesn't mean allowing the same harm to be repeated. This is where boundary setting comes in. When you forgive, you also need to set boundaries to protect yourself from further harm. These boundaries serve as a clear signal to the other person that their harmful behavior is not acceptable and will not be tolerated. So, while forgiveness is important, it should never come at the expense of your self-respect and personal boundaries. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've explored the vital role that boundaries play in our lives. They provide a clear demarcation of where we end and where others begin, serving as a shield that protects our self-respect and ensures we maintain healthy relationships. We also delved into the steps to set these boundaries. It starts with self-awareness, understanding your limits, and being assertive when needed. It's about expressing your needs and expectations to others in a respectful manner. Then, we ventured into the dangers of forgiving too quickly. While forgiveness is a virtue, doing it prematurely can sometimes undermine your self-worth and compromise your boundaries, leading to a cycle of resentment and disappointment. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about limiting your interactions, but about creating a safe space for yourself and others. So, start setting boundaries today and see the difference it makes in your life. Do share your thoughts in the comment section. Do you easily forgive and forget? Do you believe in setting boundaries? If this video has been of any value, kindly smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe and join the community. Until next time, take care.